Here we are with the Late IHP Show, your favorite 5D mystic, enlightenment, functional adult, and mystic for our lovely clairs and channeled guidance, the relationship with the lovely space, Akash. I like to just call it energy, even though it's more than just that. But it is through the wisdom of the heart. Alignment, Purusha, Prakriti is the heart body, energy body, holding value body, physical and mental, if I remember them correctly, and not in that order. But unconditional love, Purusha, is what I learned, although there's different ways that they talk about pure consciousness, and then Prakriti, the energy, pure energy. And essentially, it's a person with an integrated brain. So integration of the brain is really awesome. That's when you're using your left and right mode. And the right sits with the unknown and all those sensations that come up from our lovely body. 80% of our memory is from our body, at least that's what some people say. Others don't believe in the updated attachment information, neurobiology of attachment, neurobiology of trauma. So they don't believe the updated sciences. They believe in the ancient sciences with the biblical texts, and just not biblical, but just any type of ancient. It can be cultural. They're just going to bring to you, hey, no, the book from the ancients. Though these ones count more. The updated sciences are not valid yet. They don't have enough data, and plus yesterday's 10,000 years of history said this thing, so we cannot by any means understand that neurobiology and technology is explaining something. No, the sciences, they can't explain the brain. The ancients know everything. Okay, so on that note, as I was saying, right brain, all the lovely stuff comes up. You sit in the unknown here, very easily having disparate ideas actually sit together, because we can, some of us, I'm a right brainer with my left brain. I'm a feminine with my masculine, because see, the feminine, we go around and we create with everything that's in the middle, yin yang, all that lovely stuff. So staying in alignment. The feminine is the spirituality process. Oh yes, the body, that's right. Forgot to say. So all of that stuff that comes up, emotions and the GPS. We're going to get to that. And the accuracy of your GPS. Now, it's going to be not totally accurate, but I'm not going to get into that one because it would take me more than 10 minutes. All I can tell you is we all have implicit bias, because we all have implicit memory. The first 3 years of your life matter a lot. I have a whole 3-year-old heart. My last and first hypnosis was on my happiest childhood memory, and it was when I was 3, so it was really fun. And I definitely already knew that I loved life. I'm a human love narrative. That's right, 5D mystic here. Again, not 4D. 4D sits with the devils and demons and energy vampires. They sit with dark auras, and they talk to you about cutting cords, and they talk to you about protecting yourself from energy. They talk to you about, if somebody's coming from your past, they're karmic or they're your divine counterpart, but they're not your twin flame, but maybe this one's your twin flame. And oh, by the way, FYI, yes, twin flames are a true deal, not saga, not the drama, trauma bonding, that docuseries, don't even bother. I mean, if they were a kind of cult, there's plenty of them out there. And they didn't start now with spirituality, new age. And it's not bullshit. It's bullshit because people believe in magic wands, and really what it is they don't know about their own right brain stuff. So if you're not an adult with an integrated brain, and your left actually, chit chatter. So the left breaks things down. That's your masculine. So your brain has a masculine and feminine. Now, if you are a integrated brain, the studies are showing that you have your inner well-being. Now, if you can say present, attuned, that means nothing comes from the bottom up. So your gut and your heart, they're clear. And it can only be clear if you're in a physiological state of compassion. As I was saying with all people in the short, so all people means 8 billion plus people. And that means that if I'm facing you and you look me in the eye, my higher social functioning systems in my brain, which involves my executive decision maker and not my amygdala. So no, I'm not going to be with my defense mode, my brainstem here activated, which is instead what everybody who's navigating and wanting some type of hypervigilance, and that's a lot of people actually. All they do is, if Bill looks at me one more time, I'm going to beat him up tomorrow at work. Yeah, that's actually not an integrated brain. That's a person with what's called unresolved trauma. Now, the ancients think that the ones of us who are speaking like this are going soft. We're not soft. We're just our human nature. It's called LOVE. because of our ventral vagal state. And what I know is my body is actually thanking me for the longevity. And even if I might drink some alcohol and I might, do some smoking of a cigar, I don't do any of that other stuff, but I'm sure there's healthy people in their ventral vagal state who sometimes do stuff. We don't have compulsiveness though, because see, we don't have a shame cycle. Let me get to that. So we don't have the defectiveness, heartbreak, gut wrench that a human being with unresolved trauma and also childhood development trauma. And so there's a lot of different reasons why your emotions are not a good GPS for people who are not healed and whole yet. They're not returned to their restorative embodied self, which, by the way, is our birthright. As human beings, you don't need a story for it. You actually can completely disengage from anything with a story. The data is pretty solid on integration of the brain, your structural human being brain. Now, the people who want to put stories in loopholes, I'm not a flat earther personally. And I know that the people who like to say we know the truth based on the ancient biblical text, they like to say that that's truth. I'm 43. I grew up with lovely texts, and I know what the truth is. And I know that a machine will very much explain to me how my brain works. And I'm going to believe what I'm going to see in a camera, because even though now they've created these type of, actually, what are they called? Meta something lenses. And I was like, wow, that's going to be fascinating to hear about from 4D, who was already talking about AI and technology as a demon. I wonder what they're going to say about this stuff. So on that note, when people like to use the word SMART, stable, mature, adaptive, rational, teachable is how I like to break it down. But yeah, if you're going to say to me you're smart, I hope you have faces. Thank you, Daniel Siegel, that it's flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, and stable. So your left and right mode can work together. Now, here's the deal. Your brain structure isn't fully developed unless you actually were able to grow your corpus callosum, hippocampus, prefrontal cortex up, lo and behold, and which one am I forgetting? Did I say hippocampus? I think I did. Connectomes, that's right, the interconnected connectomes. So that's what serves to integrate your lovely brain. Now, again, a lot of psych education. I got 3 more minutes left almost. So I'm going to cut to the chase and just let people know participating, no, present. I don't think anything from my gut and I don't think anything from my head, and I'm here in front of you. And because I don't have trust issues on any way, shape, or form, I can therefore, yes, with my emotions, regulate myself to have a ventral vagal state, observe, no physical threat. Cool, I'm good. Now, implicit bias can come up. So I might recognize that around a certain amount of people, I feel a little, I don't know. And I have 2 data points. 1, if I don't see anything in their hand, there must be nothing wrong. There's no need for me to get, but I can keep my ad up. 2, I might be right. But then again, if they don't commit a crime and there's nothing dangerous, I have no actual right to start screaming or doing anything, right? Okay, so my emotions, they give me hunches. Now, for me to actually follow through with it, eventually something can come of it. And sometimes things do and sometimes they don't. I see a lot of people thinking that their clairs and their emotions tell them things about people, but they really don't. They're just making teenager remarks on people based on their opinions. And so, yeah, that's not an accurate GPS. So they didn't grow up. The ones with trauma to heal, they can grow up. No, first they want to understand what happened to them. They want to grieve. They want some time to actually become their adult self, hold their inner child. And that's all the sensations that come up. Once they're compassionate, like a person such as myself, and they can actually be in the presence of all types of people and basically know, oh, my emotions are coming up, but actually I should do it over here. But I don't see anything, so I don't need to do anything. And I shouldn't really be judgmental based on my cultural bias or my societal bias or any of my biases as a woman and a lot of other things, because that's not really nice. It's not really smart, nor is it fair. I'd say, yeah, we're growing a lot smarter, because unless you're in the middle of a zone, which unless you're in a movie or you're actually unfortunate in the middle of the zone, which I'm not, there's no reason for my emotions to get an alert. Oh, by the way, Gabor Mate, he loves to share with some people, don't trust your gut. That's because he's talking to people who first need to regain their wholeness. Some people take things out of context, and so I wanted to just add that. There's a lot of people that share why you want to get a hold of your gut, and that's so that you can return home again to a ventral vagal nervous system body, your mammalian heritage, which you can only do with securely attached people, which would be people that don't shame, blame, fault, or revenge. They speak to you like a grown-up and an adult, and they treat you with love and respect.